So I want to share a spiritual inquiry that I've been practicing, and it's been really interesting, and I hope perhaps it can bring value to you, or you could inquire with me should you choose to. Let me first say what an inquiry is for me, and the way it's been used in a lot of different ways. I've been using it a lot and throwing it around. So what I mean by it is, it's an inquiry is when sometimes it's spiritual inquiry. It can be called self-inquiry. It's when we ask kind of our higher self, or the part of us that knows, a question that we want to understand, and kind of not intellectually understand, but kind of understand it at the spiritual level, kind of that heart gut level, not like an intellectual understanding that we could research on the internet. No, we want to kind of get it down here. And so we ask this question to my higher self, or to spirit, or to my inner consciousness, to my intuition, depending on what paradigm you want to think of it from. And then I wait for an answer. I allow that answer to come to me. I might experience the answer. Okay. And then I just kind of know it. It's like, that's it. That feels like that's it. Or is there more to it? And so that's what I mean by inquiry. And my current inquiry, some of you may know, I'm interested in kind of the Australian Dreamtime. In fact, the spring retreat that's going to happen in March this year is going to have a Dreamtime theme. And the Dreamtime's like another dimension of being. And so we'll do ceremony in the Dreamtime, and then that'll help open the doors for it in our waking life. And so part of my dream time, so I'm pretty excited about the dream time these days. That's kind of my geeky new thing that I'm exploring. So part of that is to fully experience the dream time. I'm learning to play the didgeridoo. And the didgeridoo, you've probably heard it. It's this kind of long, it's actually the oldest instrument on the planet from what we can gather historically. It's this long kind of, usually made of a tree trunk, and it starts and it gets a little wider, and it makes this droning noise. And it's really cool. And it's used in ceremony, and it has, some of it's more droning, almost like a sound bath kind of sound. Almost, it can sound like this real Tibetan, just real low sound. I like the low ones. Mine's in the key of B, so it's really low. And then other of them are more rhythmical, and they have more of a dance to them. It's like more of a rhythm, and it's really cool. So anyway, I'm getting lost here, but I'm learning to play the didgeridoo, and my inquiry that I want to share with you is around that. So I'm doing this old school where I'm like taking lessons from a teacher. She's awesome. She's really, really good, and she's agreeing to teach me, a beginner. So that's really cool in itself. It's like I'm one of the better didgeridoo players in the world is teaching me. So it's like, well, I better be on my A game here. I don't want to waste her time, right? So anyway, I'm doing a lesson every week, and then I practice. I'm devoted to practice. I've at least a half hour a day, okay? And so I had my lesson today on Friday, and then throughout the week I practice, what she taught me during the lesson. Okay, and I'm kind of experiencing it. The other thing about didge playing is, didge for short, is that it's kind of like this experiential, learn it in your body type thing. Kind of like I was saying with inquiry, right? Because you can't get it in your head. You can't understand it intellectually. It's like you're teaching your body. And I don't know if all instruments are like this, but you're kind of teaching your body what to do to get the feel for playing it. And it's weird because I know what to do in my head, but it's like it's got to get into my body. So it's a really unique type of practicing. It's like practicing to understand something experientially in my body. So anyway, I start on Friday, and I've kind of equated, it's almost like going around the medicine wheel, or the wheel of life, because on Friday it's kind of like this, the East or the spring. I'm like learning the new thing, and I might be excited about it. It's like the new trick she's showing me. It's like, and of course, when she does it, it sounds really cool. And it's like, okay, I can learn to play that. And that's exciting. That was today. And then the most challenging part is I moved down into the south of the wheel, that time of learning in adolescence, actually in the summer. That'll be like practicing tomorrow and Sunday. The first day is the hardest. It's the most frustrating because, to put it bluntly, I kind of suck at it, right? I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. My body can't, at first, it can't do what I want my mind to do. I'm like trying to learn this technique, and my body's just like fumbling around with it. It's frustrating. And it's like that day, it seems like I set my timer for a half hour, and that day, that half hour seems like it lasts a long time. And it's also frustrating the second day, which will be like Sunday. It's also a little frustrating but each day gets a little better. Monday, it's kind of like I'm starting to it's like, I can do this, man. I'm getting the feel for it. I'm still clunky, but there's hope. I think I can get this. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm actually like, whoa, I'm starting to get pretty good. I can actually, my rhythm, it's not quite as cool as what she was playing, but my rhythm's pretty cool here. I can feel a little rhythm going, and I'm like jamming. I feel like I'm jamming on the didge, right? Wednesday, Thursday would be kind of like the West, where I'm getting some mastery, right? I'm moving into the West or the fall, and I'm getting some mastery, some skills, and it's like I'm doing this. And then the North is when I go back and show her. I show, like the first part of the lesson, I show her what I've been practicing. And then the second part of the lesson, she shows me the new things. Of course, the new things are the East for the next time around the wheel. So full circle wheel. And what I'm really seeing is I want to focus on the early parts of the wheel, like how challenging it is, like that, like tomorrow's practice day. And it'll be challenging because it's just like, and I'll have a lot of resistance toward it. My mind is just like, it can be frustrating. It's really important. I've known to bring humor into it, almost make fun of the sounds that come out of, it's like, the sounds that come out of the didge. It's like, I'll almost make fun of myself and tease myself. And I try to keep it light and playful, and because I know I've done this for about 5 or 6 weeks now, I know that if I stay with it, that I'll get better as I move through the week. And what I'm realizing is that whenever I learn a new skill, it could be a spiritual thing, or it could be meditating, it could be whatever else. It's like I go through this process, and I'm just wondering, I'm realizing like how many times I quit and didn't follow through when I got in that frustrating phase, because it's like, like you say, you're learning to meditate. It's like, I can't do this. And then we quit, or it's our new exercise program, or it's a new, whatever it is. We're learning our intuition, or whatever it might be that we're learning. How many times, have I'll speak for myself. Maybe you can relate. How many times in that early frustrating phase that I described with my didge practicing, like how many times did I quit and never give it a chance, and that's of course tragic. And so what I'm learning is like, it's like I'm doing this didge practice, and it's like I'm gonna do it, and I'm committed to doing it, and I work through the frustrating phase, and then I allow it, and then I can see myself get better. It's a little easier than meditation, because meditation, it's tough to see yourself getting better. I mean, you can kind of notice, but meditation's kind of a little like this anyway. So with the didge, I can see myself getting better. And the thing is, even when we're meditating and we can't see the results, we are getting better, okay? And so if we can just stay through it. So my inquiry is like, how can I stay with this even when it's frustrating? I'm like rewiring. It's like that phase where I'm like rewiring my brain, like the neural pathways. I'm like, to learn this, I'm like forming new neural pathways in my brain, I would imagine. And some of you guys know more about neural physiology than I do, and my body is like getting it and it's feeling it. And so that's my inquiry, is just like, how can we stay with something so we can like get better at it and start finding a thing. So it's been very humbling, like learning. Learning. I'm 60 years old, like learning a new musical instrument at 60 years old. My friend James, he's actually studying a language. He's studying French, and he's up there in the years like I am. So, it's like, but boy, it's so good for the mind and good for the soul. And it just feels like I'm learning something. And so that's my inquiry. I just wanted to share it. So the inquiry is like, what in your life do you want to learn? And how can you get through the frustrating phase of it so you can get all the value and all the expansiveness that lies on the other side? So that is my video for this week. That kind of a different kind of video, almost more of a share, but I thought I'd send it your way, see if it resonates. I hope you enjoy your week, and perhaps you can find some way to learn something new and get through the frustrating phase and bring something new into your life. I think we're going through this phase, these phases all the time, not just when we're trying to learn something, but even as we go around the wheel. I think we're just going through these phases all the time. So the key is to not bail on yourself, not bail on your new thing, while you're in the frustrating phase. So anyway, I will see you in a week.